I'm still not totally tracking on the connection between mitochondria and free radicals. Like
Oh, well, mitochondria is a furnace. Mitochondria make free radicals. They make superoxides and occasional hydroxyl ion. And so, your body has antioxidants when you're younger to take care of that. But, as you get older, they go down. But then there's a lot of oxidative radicals that just happen because things break down, because we breathe oxygen. So there's a lot of oxygen in our bodies and cells, and they cause, rusting or oxidation of the cell membranes of everything. So you just have to have a high level of antioxidants to prevent, things from basically rusting down. It's just like because you're water and you got oxygen, that causes rust. So you want to avoid that.
So if you don't want your body to rust, what can you do?
Well, obviously you could stay healthy. You want to do things that aren't causing damage, like avoid toxins. Some certain foods are really bad for you and cause damage. Toxins of various sorts. They're just a gob of industrial toxins, but also things that people eat. Like, for instance, one of the worst is seed oils, because they have those omega-6 things. They cause inflammation because they don't have what it takes, and your body takes them in and tries to build stuff with them, and it has gaps and holes, and things break, and you get oxidative damage on your cell membranes because you're using the wrong building brackets. If you put bricks that aren't quite fitting, try to build a house with bricks that aren't quite symmetrical with each other, you'd have obviously some structural problems. And it's the same way in your cell walls. So there's just an infinite, a whole lot of different ways. You have radiation. Just radiation from a sunburn, that's oxidative damage. Basically, that UV radiation has gone and knocked an electron off of a molecule and caused a cascade of oxidative damage, and then that causes all kinds of causes damage to the cells. The cells put out cytokines, and then neutrophils get in there, and basically you get inflammation. That's what the red and swelling is. It's just a sign of damage, and your body's sending its troops in there to try to repair the damage. But it's everywhere.
What about cell phone use?
Your cell phones, yeah. They used to think that cell phones didn't have damage because they didn't heat up tissue, but now they found things like cell phones will jam open voltage-gated channels, specifically the calcium channels. So calcium from outside the cell will leak into the cell, and that just causes havoc because it's destroying the ionic balance, and that's going to cause oxidative radicals. So there's just, and then there's, of course, atomic radiation, which, Fukushima and those other things. Chernobyl. And so, all those things are still with us. That a lot of that radiation doesn't go away for centuries. So,
well, it's still Fukushima. Speaking of that, it's still dumping into the ocean right now. Into the
ocean.
It hasn't stopped, and people don't realize that.
Yeah.
So that's a problem. Okay, so we've got the healthy lifestyle choices, and we've got the things that you can do. You can avoid some of these toxins. You can try to make choices to stay away from some of these things, but help us understand where C60 comes in this whole equation with mitochondrial function and oxidative stress. How does it all come together?
Well, C60 covers a specific section that nothing else does. Like, you can eat your blueberries and your colored vegetables and your broccoli family type things, and they have all kinds of wonderful antioxidants, and you should be doing that. And then there's some key antioxidants that really are important for you, and like CoQ10, that's one of the key 4 ones. You can supplement for CoQ10, and if you're older, you should be supplementing for CoQ10. And then there's our ubiquitol is often another one that's a CoQ10 similarity one. Your body changes it. And then there's glutathione. Now, you can supplement for some glutathione. They've got some good products out now. It doesn't always necessarily it's going to get to the cells where it needs to. But there's a couple things like SOD, superoxide dismutase, and dismutase and catalase, and they work together to take care of superoxide, the number one most damaging oxidative in the radical in the body. And that's taken care of by SOD and catalase. And C60 actually does a job of SOD and catalase in one stop for getting rid of superoxide.